Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Higgs, coming at you. It's a Monday, December the 2nd, new month. We're going to make it December to remember. Doug Upstone, Chip Chirimbes with me, as always, here to start the week. We will be covering some NBA. Nothing but action here because we have 5 college basketball games, 4 NBA, 3 hockey. There's not much. A rare light day, but I think all 3 of us will gladly take a light day after a crazy week of end of the college football regular season, a lot of day action starting at 10, 11 a.m. college hoops going till 2 a.m. Long week. That's not even talking turkey and ham and family and all the other nonsense. So a nice, relaxing Monday. We will get to 3 free pick winners here. But before we do that, hit the like button here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, notification bells on. So you know when we post our free pick videos. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday too, included after Wednesday. Free picks.
8 days a week.
Yes. Chip Chirimbes comes with you on the weekends with Jim Feist, Paul Bovey, more free picks. Live show on Friday, Marc, Lawrence, Victor King, and myself. Brian Biller, Matt Fargo midweek. Money Mondays here. The live show at 7 o'clock Eastern for Monday Night Football. I'll be back with some props. Now, the premium stuff, head on over to gamblersWORLD.net. Free stuff is great. We make jokes. It's free. It's for me. I get it. But they're free picks. We try to win them all. We do. Do they always get there? No. You know what gets there more often than not? gamblersworld.net, our premium action. I mean, where do we start there? Chip Chirimbes, pretty good 20-6 run in his NBA. Not too bad. 6-1 college hoops run. Not too bad. Doug Upson, we're talking about his ice. Something ridiculous. 29-5 or probably like 29-15. 29-12. The runs are there. You see how we're doing in all sports. I come out with a lot of volume, and college basketball, I'm 90-73. College football, 90-72. I'm not even number 1 in the money. I have to, we got Biller on here and Matt Fargo and Doug, Chip, Victor. We have other guys on site. Rob Vinceleni, and he doesn't do videos. And we know Rob. I've been on channels and websites with Rob for about 15 years. Never met the guy. I don't even know if this picture would come up now, you'd think this is some AI guy, right? Because this little head has been on site since 2008. The dude, number one in Rob Vinceleni's number 3 in NBA, 17-11. As great as Doug is doing in hockey, 64%. I don't know. Well, Rob Vinceleni 12-6, leading in the money. College basketball, Rob Vinceleni 22-9. I'm number 2, 98-72. This guy's number 1, 71%. He's just everywhere. The guy. So what the point of the matter is, we have a leaderboard, right? Just because we don't use the leaderboard, we win more than we lose. These are free picks. Go ahead, Chip. I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was going to say his rate of return must be great. I mean, with that percentage. So, it's worth the investment.
Kyle Hunter's another guy, kind of low volume kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that these are free picks, premium stuff. You want to see if we win? We win. You see the records are right there. We don't hide from them. We can't come in and be like, oh, well, this and this and this. No. You win, it's there. You lose, it's there. And 3 738 packages, all guaranteed for the 3 of us and the 10 other cappers on the site. We show you a profit over that time, or we credit you back. A lot of people jumped on for the Turkey weekend extra day special. Why wouldn't you? Between Thursday and Monday. Thank you for that. And we have that still going on there. So enjoy. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We don't have the 4-day pass on. I'm trying to get Jim to do it for next weekend with championship weekend because we have all those games. We'll see. I'm trying to help you out, folks. But the daily all access pass, you see it at the top. You can't beat that for $69.99, especially on a weekend where you got football and college hoops. You're going to get more than 3 plays for sure. Even from the guys who give out 30 plays a month, you're going to get probably 2 or 3 on a loaded weekend of action. But enough of the sales pitch there, all right? Here you go. Hey, we're going to sell here. Come get your tamales. Chip, how you been? How was your holiday? I mean, I just mentioned your little runs here, bud.
Listen, if I had a rope or if there was a bridge in Las Vegas to jump off of, terrible NFL and college weekend. 1-4, 1-4 both days. Losing mega buck plays both days on the 2-yard line with A&M. It doesn't matter. It's lost. You can't win them all. And I was very, very happy that the NBA has actually started. Had a great week. We're now 20-6 in the last 26 releases and had a 6-1 college basketball. So there was some savior for me if anyone played basketball. But if you didn't, I buried you. but I'm making up for it this week. Don't hesitate to come and jump on board because it's rebound weekend in the NFL and college football as well.
Rebound. I like what you did there. Rebound, like basketball. I get it. I'm with you. I had a 5-5 or 5-4 college football day, 3-3 Sunday in NFL. I was with you on A&M. Couple wins, couple losses. They happen, right, Doug? I mean, we can't. People think they fall into this TikTok, Instagram world where they see some nonsense. I'm 27-2 in these plays. We're on the no, not in the real world. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, occasionally it does, but you know what is the percentage of people that have those on those sites? Those numbers just don't equate. Okay, so that's how that works out. But yeah, like I said, hockey really good, continuing a really good run. 29-12, so 70% or 70+% on that one, and even won in overtime yesterday. So that was it's like and miracles do happen.
Bonus.
And so we have that NBA, not as good as Chip, but on a nice little run, 11-6 of late. Had a winner yesterday with the Memphis Grizzlies, comfortable over Indiana. NFL 0-2 yesterday. Kirk Cousins. I swear, if he could have gone, if he would have come out in a wheelchair, I would have understood the 4 interceptions. But he didn't. Okay, so he was awful, and then a shocker, the low score, Baltimore and Philadelphia to me. So missed that one. But college football last week was 7-0, followed up with 5-2 this week. So 12-2 the last 2 weeks, going into the championship games this week. So excited for that. So giddy up and go, guys.
You mentioned Cousins. I was on the Vikings there yesterday. We talked a little off air before Chip came on or joined us. I was like, if you told me to throw 4 interceptions, I thought I had a good spot. Bye week, Chargers with the Chiefs on deck. They're off primetime games. Good. Man, what a disaster. And I told you, I said I have him for next week already, and I don't even know if he's going to be quarterback, and I thought that would be a good spot. I figured the line's going to come down from 5 or 4, whatever it is. That's the game. This is what we play here, folks. NFL, interesting weekend. Although you mentioned that the Ravens not going over, Eagles look to be the real deal. I was kind of concerned, like, okay, you beat some so-so teams. Here's a good team. I'm not worried about my Ravens here. I got a future on them. That defense continues to not make a good stop. I mean, are they still dangerous? Yes, but, man, hats off to Eagles. I was not expecting them to go in there and win that game.
John, how many times in big games are we going to see Jackson give the ball up, either fumbles or by interceptions, or like he took a 20-yard sack on a 3rd down from the 15, which really put Turner. My goodness, what's happening to Tucker? What's happening to Tucker kicking field goals now? I've never seen, a
2 more misses, right? 2 more misses?
3. He had 3, and one of them they're all over 50 yards, but still, he took his team. You got to be thinking, don't take us out of field goal position no matter what. Throw the ball away. He drops back 10, 12 yards as it is, fakes pump, and then tries to get away, loses 21 yards. And it just isn't a rare occasion. I mean, we seem to see this act repeating itself every year. It comes down to playoff time, and he's fumbling on the 10-yard line. He's being intercepted twice in the 4th quarter. And this is our 2-time MVP. He's got incredible numbers. You watch the game, you see he does incredible things. But in crunch situations, sometimes he's just not there. And last night, watching that game, I'm really beginning to wonder if he's ever really going to get the brass ring.
You're looking at 5 losses for this team. They're a wild card, but they better hope they kind of hold on here because they have some tougher battles coming up, tougher games coming up. This is a team I thought would be, at worst, a division winner, maybe getting knocked out by KC or Buffalo or something. At this rate, you could be a wild card getting upset at home.
Yep.
Well, speaking of teams that don't come through in the clutch, how about those Ohio State Buckeyes Saturday?
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Is they going to keep his job or not?
If they don't win the championship, I think he should be fired.
Well, they can't win. All right.
Yeah, the national championship. You're not in the Big Ten championship, and we'll talk about that too, because we'll talk about the playoff stuff coming up. But 4 straight losses to Michigan, and this Michigan team missing their best players, a shell of what they were. That they won the championship last year. You want to lose that one? Forget about it. You still lost 4 in a row. You can't beat this team. You can't. If you won 16-13, at least people say it's a battle. Michigan's going to come to fight you. You knew it was going to be a fight. You lose outright as a 20-point fave
and got pushed around.
We're going to try to run the ball. You don't run the ball. You are a wide receiver university. What are you doing trying to run the ball? Was Eddie George back in town?
Joe Klatt was ad nauseum referenced that at least 10 times in the second half about throwing the ball, in that game. And by the way, it was a shock to everybody else that has anything to do with the business, but Gus Johnson kept referring to Michigan as being a 23-point underdog. I know there's no Fox app anymore for sports betting, so I'm not sure where he got his information from. But I just thought that was kind of note.
Well, he's the only one in the country that didn't know what the number was. Because you turn on any show now, everybody's got the numbers.
Well, they were saying, I saw that on there. Someone on Twitter said he probably asked like somebody who had a local guy just juiced it up a little bit because everybody's on Ohio State, which makes sense. If you ask the local person, like, hey, what the number is, let's be honest. It's probably if it's a local guy, they're going to juice up. Everybody's betting the home team. So.
Yeah, I don't. Gus Johnson doesn't strike me as the type of guy that would know somebody like that. That's an opinion.
Yeah, no, he's definitely asking around and be like, "Hey, what's going on with this game here, folks? Anybody got any information for me?"
But now, just horrible performance. Looked terrible. Just no, And the thing is too that struck me. And speaking of not coming through in the clutch and talking about quarterbacks, like Chip was, Will Howard at Kansas State. He never won really any big games for Kansas State. I mean, he had some nice upsets at Kansas State, but he just didn't have really the big games. And, and in the Oregon game, at the end of the game, he just kind of lost his mind in that one, when they were trying to come back. And again, he just was, I don't know, he just seemingly wasn't present, in the moment. And boy, cost them again. I mean, they can still win the championship, but going to have to take the tougher road to do it now.
Watch out for my Fighting Irish.
You're not alone, my friend.
You're physically dominant.
I'm not a huge Irish guy. I feel like they always get beat up by the better team because of the recruiting problems they have getting kind of
beat me up Saturday.
They crush USC. And again, USC, and anytime we do a free pick on them, I kind of joke like, there you go. You want to get out of Pac-12 to go lose games at Maryland and be you're an 8-4 team in the Big Ten going forward now.
Sean,
that's all you are.
That Notre Dame, their backs keep coming at you. They're strong. They're big. They're physical. I just think
they have a good shot of winning.
Getting really strong right now at the end of the year.
Although I see that they have the projections have them playing Alabama coming to South Bend.
Yeah.
And that's where I wanted to go. Alabama as a 3-loss team. Is this like we've been in this a long game? I mean, for you guys have been a lot longer than me, but it was just they weren't even have BCSs. It was just kind of whoever had the AP polls would battle, and it'd be that. Maybe there was a better team down the road you never even knew about because of TV coverage. But at least in the BCS era, they had some kind of grading. Like, okay, if you lose to a team, you're pretty much out of it if you have a loss. 3 losses, I don't care that they played a tough team. You lost to them. You lost to that team. How are they going to put this team in there? This is why I said, like, maybe if you want to get the playoffs at 6 games, sure. Then you get your SEC runner-up in there, and everybody feel better in SEC. They're going to what, 14? It's going to be 14 teams in 2 years, and it's going to be Alabama, Georgia, Texas, LSU, probably A&M, Ole Miss. You're going to have 7 teams out of there. You're going to have Michigan will be better then. So it'll be Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, maybe a USC if they get any better, or maybe Indiana's going to be 5 teams out of that division as well, or that conference. You'll get 1 crummy ACC and Big 12 team. Why are we putting 3 and 4 loss teams in here? That's not a playoff.
Money.
Where do we draw the line?
Money makes the world go round. Joel Gray said that.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too, it's my thought is it's the first year. I just everybody should just relax. I mean, this is.
I'm not relaxed.
Well, I know you're not, but I said it's a suggestion. With you, Sean, all I can do is suggest stuff. You're going to do it anyway, so I'm not even going to bother to try and change your mind.
We're not going to doctor's offices. The earth is flat. There was no moon landing. I am steadfast in my opinions. I'm not changing.
How about this, though?
3-loss Alabama, no.
I absolutely love, though, this one aspect of college football this year. So So we get rid. The Pac-12 is gone except for 2 teams, and it'll be somewhat of a revision in the future here. But so basically four main conferences. Okay, so last year Oregon, big Pac-12, Big Ten champion. Okay, this year regular season Big Ten champion. SMU last year American Conference, ACC champion this year in a new conference. SEC, Texas, who won 1 championship in the Big 12 in the last 12 years, they go to the mighty SEC. And what do? They win the championship, okay, in the conference. And then what's the Big 12. Big 12, tough conference, everything else. Arizona State, just a lousy team in the Pac-12. Well, guess who the best team in the Pac-12 was this year? Arizona State.
You know what? I didn't even think of that, Doug. That is absolutely 100. Oh, SMU, they're not going to compete. And I was wondering, I'm like, this is the ACC. Maybe they're not going to be as good. Yeah, they're in a championship game. Arizona State, the Pac-12 is crap. Arizona State winning the Big 12. Wow. Oh, Texas can't play with the big boys. They're only lost to Georgia. Okay, that's, it's Georgia who's won a couple championships.
Right.
They win regular season. Unbelievable. And Oregon going to the Big Ten. Let's go to the Smash Mouth Football Conference. And here come the Fly Boys. Pretty football coming in and winning it.
So
I know. How did I miss that? That is absolutely great.
Yeah.
The SEC best football conference. Yeah.
Now I'll add one other thing. I did not look at the lines today, but in theory, this championship weekend sets up as potentially the best one ever that they, with however many conferences they have. And the reason I say that, as of this was yesterday afternoon, I saw it. The biggest spread, and I don't even remember what game it is, but the biggest spread is 4.5 of the championship games this weekend. So we should have very competitive games in theory, and it should be a lot of fun. Okay, and from a handicapping standpoint, that's just a better challenge. Okay, to have spreads that you can work with. Okay, instead of trying to mess with numbers that that double-digit numbers and stuff like that. So I'm fired up and excited for this weekend.
The big spread now has gone up to 5.5, and that was UL Lafayette. It's jumped up a point today.
Okay.
So there's been a move with Lafayette. But yeah, I mean, Tulane 4.5, 5 over Army, 4s across the board. Jacksonville State, Boise's a 4-point fave, 2.5 in Arizona State, 2.5 Miami, Ohio, 2.5 Texas, 2.5 SMU, 3.5 Oregon over Penn State.
And the one thing that people shouldn't go to sleep on, I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, but the Boise State beat UNLV earlier, so this is a revenge game. Now it was in Las Vegas last time. Now it's going to be at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho, and but you know what? UNLV's good, and you just don't know. And wouldn't that be something if UNLV got in as basically the 12th team? That would be amazing, because Tulane lost, so they're out. Army's, Army's not going to come back to get back in as the other group of 5 or 6 conferences. So UNLV, if they win, they're in. I would think.
I know. Big upset there too against Boise, and people are just right in Boise like, oh, they're automatic. Like, they're a 4-point fave, folks. They're not like, it's not like they're like 19-point favorites in this game. It's a 4-point fave, which is basically home field on a Smurf turf, right? You figure it's basically. And this will go to. Let's go back to the ACC. This is a Barry Odom guy, right? Barry Odom was Wake Forest guy, isn't he over there now?
No, Missouri was his last stop.
Oh, Missouri. Oh, who took over UNLV?
Yeah, Barry Odom. But he was. You're thinking of Dave Odom, the basketball.
Dave Odom. All right, I was. Yeah, there's still Odoms. Is that his brother?
As opposed to Lamar Odom.
Yeah, Lamar Odom. St. John's, baby. Lamar Odom. Man, maybe St. John's get back to being a good team. We'll see. Who knows about that? We'll talk college hoops next week because we had a few games. Let's do some NBA because people are probably going to be going off the charts here in the comments section. Like, 20 minutes, you're talking playoff football. Where's the NBA? Listen, there's good things to talk about. We're going to talk about. Come on. It's playoffs time. College football playoffs, people. A couple NBA games here, though. Let's get into it, Doug. The Lakers and the Minnesota TimberWolves. Lakers a 7.5-point dog, 219 in total. Move down a little bit. Lakers won back in October here in this game, but 2-4 their last 6. They beat kind of bad teams. Their last 105, 104, barely getting by the Clippers after losing a few. The fact that they're a 7.5-point underdog here, Minnesota lost, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, and then it barely edged out the Clippers 93-92, and they're coming here laying 7.5 to the – who's out for the Lakers? Well, I mean, is it the line's that big for – 7.5? I'm not a Laker guy. I think the Lakers are in-season champions. That's what I call them. This is in-season tournament basketball time, but 7.5?
Yeah, well, see, I mean, there's been some big changes, and it actually affected my what I was going to give out today in this one, because the opening line was 4 for Timberwolves and 225.5. Okay, and then this morning the side didn't change much early, but the total had dropped down to 221.5, 222, depending on the book. So that changed things up, and now you've given the updates. I checked the injury reports about about an hour ago, and they hadn't, at least where I typically go, which is usually pretty good, they hadn't been updated yet. Now, they had a number of guys listed yesterday with injuries, so I don't know if there's somebody added to where Minnesota's gone up in terms of favorite. But neither of these teams has been scoring at all in their last 5 games. They're averaging just under 104 points per game. So neither team has scored, and they had gone 9-1 under in those 5 games of the combined. So myself, I liked the under in this game, and I had 2 fantastic systems, but now it's down to 219, and the system was predicated on the fact that the line would be at least 220. So out the window that baby went. Okay, so we had to start over again. So we don't know exactly what the injuries are with the Lakers. We just have to assume that there's possibly somebody else that's entered in this one. So what I have decided to go with, the Lakers, like I said, aren't scoring. Their team total is 105.5 for the team total. They have gone below that 3 of the last 5 games. So Minnesota, I believe, is number 10 in points allowed in the NBA. So I'm going to go with the under on the Lakers for a team total of 105.5 points.
Lakers team total under 105.5 for Doug here, official video pick. I'm looking at the live here. I mean, maybe it's because Davis is out. That's the only thing. He's probable. Maybe the only thing I think about he's out. Chip, got anything quick to add to this one here before?
I like this game. I think that the Lakers are in big trouble tonight. I mean, they win in Utah. They got to travel from a late game last night. They're playing in Minnesota, who's covered 2 of the last 10 games. They're absolutely horrible. I mean, this team, since they made the trade and got rid of Towns, has done absolutely nothing. Randall, of course, is averaging 21 points a game, second to Anthony Edwards, who looks to take over tonight. You got Davis, you got LeBron. Are both of them going to be out there tonight after playing 1,500 miles away last night in Utah? Tough game. They won. They didn't cover. I think this number is telling you that the Lakers are in trouble no matter who's playing on the court. I got the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves for Chip here. Sorry, Chip, I'm looking at the live numbers moving here on these things. So I'm guessing that somebody's out.
The Lakers opened the season with a 110-103 win over the team at home, and now they're taking it to the road. So I think turnabout. This is actually moving to an 8.5 now at ESPN.
Okay, yeah.
So but now who's going to lay that except for me, or you and him?
Again, and speaking of injury news, so we're going to get to your game here, Chip. Again, this is free picks. All right, so Doug's free pick here. We're going team total under Lakers. You want this premium stuff? We ran over all the records earlier. We'll do it again at the end. But gamblersWORLD.net for all Doug's premium picks today and any day, every day, all sports. GamblersWORLD.net. Please follow our sponsor. Now, on to Chip here.
Me.
This line here, we got some movement. Although for the show, we're going to keep it the same here because we got our graphics done.
No
Celtics, 7.5. And it's up to 8.5, 9 now because Jimmy Butler has just been ruled out as we do this recording. So we're on the move here. I'll let you just jump right into it because, this is weird because this was a 10 this morning. This was 10. I guess they thought he was playing and move it down to 7.5. He's out. It's bumping back up a little bit, but 7.5, 8. What do you got here, Chip, on this matchup here? Miami Heat, a slumping Heat team, too.
Boston put it all out there last night against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
They did.
And, you know, they almost pulled it out. Didn't quite do it. They were without Jaylen Brown. They were without Derek White. I had a question about Miami. You know, questionable. Jimmy Butler. Do you think Jimmy Butler's a Hall of Famer? When you look back at his career and what he's done, is he a Hall of Famer? Because that guy's one of the gutsiest players ever. And without him, this Miami team is totally different. I would want to lay it here with Boston coming home. They won the last 3 meetings. Oh, please.
He's excited.
What kind of March I tell you? That
he wants the dogs. He's working for the dogs.
This guy doesn't know he's supposed to stay indoors. Don, put him in. I can't help it, guys. There's nothing I can do. I get no cooperation.
Well, no, I just thought you might want to change your pick and go with the underdog instead. That's all.
The dog is coming out.
The dog's barking.
The dogs are barking like crazy, and I'm sitting here giving you a 10-point favorite. Is that what you're saying?
You got it. You got it. Yep. So there you go.
Oh Lordy. Well, I'm going to have to play the favorite just because of Boston's a gutty team. I think they're good, and without Butler, if you're telling me Butler's out, I still think the line's high with Butler. And I'm kind of surprised that you were so quick at saying that you thought Butler was not a Hall of Famer.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think he is.
I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to say I think he's worthy. I just don't think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh no, I don't think so either. But I just started looking he's been tough everywhere he's been.
Oh yeah, he's a great player, no question.
He's a gamer.
And speaking of great players, hey, what about Jason Tatum? Okay, this guy, last 2 games, 33 points, 35 points. Okay, from the season he's averaging 29. Rebounding for the season, he's at 8.5, but in his last 7 games, he's averaging just over 10 rebounds a game. So where am I going with this? Well, his rebound and scoring or points is 38.5. So if you just take his recent performance and his scoring average, that puts you at 39, which puts you at an over. He is shooting, though, the ball better. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if he goes over his scoring average. The only reason that I did not make this a premium play is because I was concerned that if the Celtics happen to just jump on them, that Tatum's minutes will go down, which could conceivably then force the issue and make it under. But I got my fingers crossed that Miami comes to play here, at least makes the game at least competitive, keeps Tatum in the game. So I'm going to go over 38.5 points and rebounds for tonight.
Points and rebounds for Doug here for Tatum. And again, with his spot, though, and I'm trying to figure out this line because they got him listed as questionable. He played a lot yesterday, and as you said, they get out to a big lead here. Well, why not pull them? I mean, they got a lot of guys out. Let's kind of take a little break. There's no reason to win by 30. You don't have to.
Right.
And they've owned this team. You go through the one, look at the records versus these guys. 115, again, going back to the playoffs, 115-84, 102-88, 114-84, 114-90. Not even close. Not even close how they beat these guys. But official show pick, Chip Chirimbes, he's taking the Celtics. We got him down at an 8 spot. An 8-piece here, a little 8-piece chicken going from Popeyes. All right, Celtics minus the 8 from Chip Chirimbes. Again, free pick. All the Chip's premium stuff, including his NBA, which he's on a great 26. And where's my piece of paper run?
20-6.
20-6.
20-6.
One last 26. Go get it at gamblersworld.net. Now, final game of the night. A doozy. The Nets, 7.5-point doggy. 223.5 total versus the Bulls. What are we doing here with the Bulls? How is this? This could be a square play. And I look at this line and I'm thinking, okay, is Smith out? Maybe Schroeder's questionable. He had a personal day on Friday, but he played yesterday. Smith was out yesterday. It's a back-to-back. Is he not playing, which maybe bumped this lineup? The Nets are 13-7 ATS. The Bulls, 10-1 ATS, or 10-11 ATS. They're just 1-1 as favorites. And now you're going to come in here as almost a 7.5 might as well be 10. That's the way I look at this in my head. Like, are they going to win this game by 10 points? I don't think they're winning by 10 points. I mean, these guys cover. You're going to give me 7.5 with a net team who's covered 13-20 as it is. And if I got a guy out, where are the Nets going? Nowhere. So the next guy up is going to say, hey, you know what? I need to prove to this coach that I can play. I got to prove to my next employer that I can play. This is a team where you want to kind of buy on where a player's out, the next man up kind of move. So they're 9-2-1 against the spread on the road as well for the Nets. Yeah. Sign me up for Brooklyn. You almost called them New Jersey, but they are the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go. They played a couple weeks ago, beginning of November, 120-112 win for Brooklyn. I'm not buying the Bulls here as a favorite. Again, are we missing? Are both guys out? That's the only way I can look at it. If that's the case, so be it. But I'll still take the Nets here. I think it's a good value play here on a team that covers games. 9-2-1 ATS road. Nets for me. Chip, what do you think about my Nets?
I'm with you here. I think they're a better team. A pair of also-rans. I don't think either of them make it to the playoffs. But, that November 1st game they played, the Nets won 120-112. They had a 32-point lead against this team. And I think they know they can beat them. I just think they know they're better, and they're going to have a lot of confidence going out there. The Bulls have been very disappointing. I don't expect them to do much of anything the entire season. I'm going to take Brooklyn, not New Jersey. I have the Nets.
There we go. So 2 for 2, Nets and the points. Doug, you make it a trifecta?
You bet I am on that one. I'm going all in. Both these teams have lost 2 straight games. Brooklyn lost theirs to Orlando, where they just couldn't score at all against that terrific Magic defense. Bulls lost also to Orlando and just got beat by Boston yesterday. Bulls at home, 2-7 straight up. Okay, that's not good. You mentioned Nets, how great they've been on the road, and they're going up against a very weak Chicago defense. How weak? In their last 10 games, they've given up 122 or more points. The Nets this season, when they score 115 or more, they are 8-0 against the spread. Let's take the Nets and get it done.
There we go. A 3-for-all on the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets here. Again, these are the free picks. Nets for me. The Celtics for Chip Chirimbes -8. Doug Upstone looking at a team total under Lakers 105.5. Again, free picks. You want the premiums? Head over to gamblersworld.net. Doug's got you covered here on Monday. Probably, I'm guessing he's going to have some college football up for championship week. I don't know. That's just me guessing. There'll probably be some NFL in there. That's just one man's opinion. Chip, I know, is going to have NBA. Who are we kidding? This is Mr. NBA. He's Chip Jordan over here with his NBA runs. But listen, it's December 2nd, Chip, and I didn't. It's been a minute since we've had a good this day in sports history, my guy.
All right, you know what happens? It's kind of a slow day, the 2nd of December, and a lot of announcements coming out of baseball. And what happened in 1941? Mel Ott was a player manager for the New York Giants, and he was hired to replace Bill Terry, who was a player manager for the Giants at the time, who retired. Terry was the last National Leaguer to hit 400. 1930, he hit 401, 686 plate appearances. They weren't pulling any Bobby Boggs or Wade Boggs, sitting them down on the final day to win a batting title, that's for sure. That's kind of an interesting thing in baseball. And also in 1948, Stan Musial had what was considered, named the MVP, the greatest single all-around season at that time, 365, 240 hits, 235 runs, 145 RBIs, 49 doubles, 18 triples, 40 homers. Incredible year. I'm gonna almost close with this. In 1981, Fernando Valenzuela became the 3rd Dodger in 3 straight years to win the Rookie of the Year. And who was it? The other 2. Do you have any idea?
Not offhand.
And they were all pitchers. Rick Sutcliffe
and
the infamous Steve Howell. That 3 straight years, the Dodgers Rookie of the Year were pitchers. And in 1984, Dan Marino broke the NFL passing record with 37 in this one season, went to 48, which of course we know was broken. And best of all, on this date in 1995, when the Chicago Bears had probably the greatest NFL defense that I've ever seen, without a doubt, and maybe in the history of the game, went to Miami and lost their only game of the season as Dan Marino and the Dolphins upset them. And at the halftime in the locker room, Ditka and Ryan got into fisticuffs. But that was in 1995. Doug, do you remember that at all? I mean, Those two are,
I do that. Yeah.
They-
Is
they
that,
were
I'm sorry,
volatile.
and it was 1985 that
wait a
year.
minute.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, you're
So-
right. I get. You know what?
Yep. No, I know. You know. But I just I don't want anybody complaining to you
No,
about.
I read it. I wrote it wrong. Actually, yeah, I can see it's supposed to be an 8.
Yes. Okay. So well, you're not alone on that. My wife says I would make a great doctor because she can't read anything that I write.
Listen, what you left out Steve Sachs one in 1982, so they had 4 in a row.
What did he really? Well, that was
Yes.
Well, see, but this was 1981, right? So it hadn't happened yet.
No, but I'm just saying you went from for them winning Cliff Howe and
No, but
Venezuela.
that's great to know, to considering they won 4 Rookie of the Years in a row.
That's amazing.
Oh, they did it again in 92. Caros, Piazza, Mondesi, and Nomo, Hollingsworth, all in a row, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing that. Anything
No,
close to that.
I had no idea.
And they went back-to-back with Seager and Bellinger in 16 and 17.
Yeah, well,
So they must have something. They must have some system working.
I think the farm system is probably okay, just offhand, you know, and everybody can complain about them saying that they want to sign this guy, they're going to sign that guy. Well, you know what? They want to win. How many?
You know what? They're using the system, Doug. If the system says that Reggie Jackson's available and you can sign him, it's it's the rules of the game. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah,
I had to go to Baseball Reference for the Stan Musial year. 27. Are you kidding me? 230, 46, 18, 39, 131, 376 batting average.
Yeah,
34 strikeouts. 34 strikeouts, 79 walks.
Imagine that.
79 walks.
And the year Ted Williams, as a matter of fact, was the MVP a couple of years later, and he had 726 official at-bats.
He walked more than 100 times, 3 times in his career.
Yep. Well, just think about this. Judge is considered one of the best hitters in baseball, and he's only struck out 184 times.
I don't even know how good this guy is because his WAR was only like a 7.5 one year, so I didn't know if he's a good player. He wouldn't even rate this year. He's like,
Musial was an all-star, like 3-4 different positions. He played right field, center field, first base. Was signed as a pitcher.
Also, one of the nicest guys that you'd ever meet. By the way,
Doug, I met him, and you're absolutely right. He was so gracious. I saw him, and I said to my girlfriend, "I think that's Stan Musial." She goes, "Who's Phil Musial?" I go, "No." He had a little. I said he had a corso stance like this, right? And he caught me doing this, and he shook his head, acknowledged, right? So I went over and I started talking to him, and I said, "I saw you in the Polo Grounds in '55." He went up. He says, "Wait here." He went upstairs, and he got a like an 8x10 with all his major league records and all this stuff, and he signed it to a great fan, Stan Musial, and I still have it.
There you go.
He hit 330 at 41, 505 at bats. He hit 330, and then the next year he retired. The next year, 124 games, he batted 255.
I mean, what his lifetime average was 331, and it was the same on the road at home. Do you know that? He had the exact same number of hits on the road and at home.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he was called the man. He was called the man for a reason.
Stan the man, and had a restaurant down around Central Illinois. I know I never got there, but he was always there later in life, you know, as the kind of like the greeter, if you will, you know, just promoting his own restaurant. But and anybody I've ever known that went there just said the same things. The guy couldn't be any more gracious.
Yep.
You know, you would never know that he was one of the best baseball players.
He was very humble. You know, he was humble. I mean, his
Not
father
a lot of that in today's sports.
He'd never make it in today's world, I can tell you that.
Well, I'm gonna say, you know what? The sad thing is that if you had some guy who was like, I want to open up some kind of burger joint and be friendly, you'd have some POS come in there, get drunk, put this phone up, like talking nonsense. Everyone, you know what? Really, that's what it would be. No one couldn't come out and just want to just be an average guy, shake hands, and just be a normal person because you just have somebody trying for their 15 minutes of fame.
You know, talk about normal people. I'm going to go have my car. I'm going to take it to the Jose Canseco car wash right up the street up there. So let you know. Love
Canseco.
Oh, he's great. The guy got jet fuel on his car so he can race from Hollywood, Florida to Miami Beach. Sorry.
Yeah. Test that new jet fuel. That was the best one for his
they arrested him in the middle of the night. That was funny.
Oh, he was a
All right.
monster. I like Jose Canseco. I do. All right, let's wrap this up. People are probably losing their minds
And
if
we're
they've
still
stuck
doing
around.
the show. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're still doing the show. We ain't stopping here. We don't ever stop. Celtics for Chip Chirimbes, minus the 8 points. Doug Upstone under Lakers, 105.5 team total. I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets plus 7.5 on the road. 3 free pick winners here. Like button, subscribe, notification bell on. Live show tonight at 7 p.m. for NFL. Little prop action for you. Premium stuff at gamblersworld.net. Go get us or any other cappers. We got the leaderboard. Use it for Chip, Doug, and myself. Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye now.